What's up, y'all? It's your boy Charles on there as well. Listen, we're about to get into this book, man, about NWA and the gangster rap scene. Now, this particular chapter we're going to get into is I would say gangster rap pretty much influenced the world, even the suburbs where white folks live at. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. The thumbs up button. Let's go and get into this book and come back to my class.
Question of whether music may cause kids to behave violently. NWA undoubtedly affected teenagers everywhere. I was 11 years old when Straight Outta Compton was released, and my own group of friends was obsessed with the group and its members as we entered Central High School in St. Paul, Minnesota, a few years later. More so than St. Paul as a whole, the school was racially diverse, with white kids like myself bussed in from out of the neighborhood for the International Baccalaureate program. I initially disliked NWA. Raised on the police are infallible message of dragnet reruns. Fuck the police seemed not just wrong to me at first, but gimmicky and insincere. But, as outlaw art often does, it eventually swayed my friends and me. We began to question not just authority, but whether drug dealers and gangbangers were inherently bad people, as we'd been coached. We took from NWA's music both the righteous politics and the bombast, but mostly the bombast, mocking cops under our breath, mimicking Eazy-E's sleazy come-ons, pulling our athletic shorts down low, and getting drunk on Old English. Some of us wore pagers or bought oversized car speakers with maximum bass. We could only dream of driving 6.4s, though I, for one, didn't know until later that this referred to a 1964 Impala. We even threw up signs for our neighborhood gangs, named for our local recreation center, and called the Langford Park Posse. The signs required making L's with both hands, and then twisting the left one 90 degrees clockwise to form a P with the other. Despite the fact that most of us couldn't place Compton on a map, we imagined the city to be both terrifying and the epicenter of cool. To share these memories now is deeply embarrassing, and I realize how insensitive and ridiculous our teenage actions may sound, attempting to appropriate the cool of people whose lives and backgrounds we could hardly fathom. But it's important for me to impart a sense of just how normal this behavior was in white America at the time. If you'll excuse the terrible term, we weren't wiggers. Just about everyone we knew imitated LA gangbangers. The guys at least, and plenty of the girls too. It was a sense of being a badass, of empowering myself to be bigger and tougher than I would normally see myself. My friend Eric Royce Peterson told me of gangster rap's appeal. As it turns out, the white suburban audience that flocked to NWA wasn't just a fluke. Dr. Dre was hoping for a reaction like this. One white ruthless employee who asked that his name not be used said Dre would sometimes invite him to his Nissan Pathfinder to play him the group's latest work. "You think white kids were like this?" he'd ask.
Looking for a professional photographer for your next big event? Need video of your special day? Then look no further. For $100 an hour, have a professional photographer or videographer shoot your wedding, birthday party, quinceañera, bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, anniversary party, or whatever your special occasion may be. Highlight your event with professional, crisp photos and video. Check out Charles Arness Photography on Instagram, as well as book us for your next event. Must live in the Southern California area.
In Los Angeles in 1991, married with children star David Faustino, who played Christina Applegate's randy younger brother Bud Bundy, together with a group including Nick Adler, scion of Sunset Strip icon Lou Adler, began putting on a premier hip-hop party called Ballistics, which drew a multiracial teenage crowd and was frequented by Eazy-E, who would pull up in front in his BMW parking in the red zone. Never mind the tickets. Exhibit and will.i.am would freestyle battle, and another future Black Eyed Peas member, Fergie, danced in a cage. Despite being a wealthy white kid, Faustino had hip-hop credibility largely because his TV character showed genuine love for the genre, even putting up Ice Cube and Nas posters in his bedroom. "My album poster being on Bud's wall was one of the illest moments for me," Nas said. "My whole projects went crazy. It was a sign that I made it in a lot of ways." Another sign was fashion. Straight Outta Compton's success didn't just vanquish the reigning LA hip-hop style, it vanquished the reigning LA hip-hop wardrobe as well. Eazy-E almost single-handedly ushered out the East Coast aesthetic. So long, dookie ropes and giant glasses. Borrowing from the local gang aesthetic, he wore white t-shirts, brand new and often more than one at a time, Dickies, khakis, and black ball caps. One of his favorites said, "Compton," and he got it custom made at a Compton swap meet store run by a North Korean immigrant named Wonjun Kim, which was also one of the first to sell gangster rap. The black and silver colors were appropriated by NWA from the Raiders, who played in Los Angeles from 1982 to 1994. This became the gear of choice for street cats and wannabe street cats the country over. "We go to the Foot Locker in KC, and it would be Chief shit all on the rack, and all the Raiders gear would be gone," Ice Cube said.
That shit is crazy. Bud Bundy. It's funny, I can remember Married with Children and him having hip-hop posters in his room, on the show. I think he had Ice Cube, and he had this one character that Bud Bundy had called Grandmaster B, but he was like this hip-hop type of person. That's when I knew David Faustino, especially with the posters he had in his room, I knew he was a big hip-hop head, but I didn't know he was that deep where he was throwing little hip-hop shows. And I'm thinking that was right at the time when Married with Children was a huge TV show, like in 93, 94. Yep, I think that was like at the height of like Married with Children. That was like one of my favorite shows. It used to come on Sunday nights. But it's funny how hip-hop and gangster rap and I would say black culture influenced so many people, all over the world and just in America. In the suburbs, these little white boys and girls didn't know anything about struggle and living in, harsh realities, but they felt like they were a part of something. I think they were kind of feeling our pain, I would say. They got to see a side of life that they didn't see where they were from, which is probably was a cushy suburb life. Both parents in the household. You know what I'm saying? Never have to worry about food or, being social services coming by the house. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have to deal with gangs. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't want to. But it's just interesting how hip hop influenced so many people, just all nationalities, even NWA. Like they were like the start, I guess you would say, of like the gangster rap scene and gangster rap world. And they were way over. I forgot what Michigan. I forgot what he said. What y'all think about this video, man? Leave your comments and subscribe to Charles and Israel. Check out that book too. Check out that book. It's really good. It's on Audible. If y'all get a chance, go ahead and check it out. Really good. Anyway, hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Take care.
For more of these fascinating stories and true crimes, subscribe to Charles Arnis World. Thanks for watching.